co-victim the night I met the Grim Reaper. Stanley gave me a lecture blistering enough to qualify as the first level of hell, except that he assured me there was no hell a la fire and brimstone. What he had in mind for me was much worse. He assigned me a task as atonement for my sins, to travel back to Earth to find a perfect new husband for my friend Amy. The job should have been easy, even though Amy is a bit of a dork. There's no one better than me at reeling in men, and I thought it would be a snap to throw one Amy's way. At least that's what I thought, until I woke up in the same stinking alley where I'd met my end, and a glance into a rain puddle showed me the reflection of a mangy, flea-bitten, sausage-shaped dog with big pointy ears and no tail. Now, you realize the extent of Stanley's twisted sense of humor. I, a bright, terrific-looking woman, had been transformed into a pudgy little Welsh Corgi, a weaselly dog that looks like a stumpy-legged fox on steroids, one who's lost its tail. You can imagine my dismay. I'd never cared much for dogs. They're smelly, noisy creatures who leave hair on the furniture and nose prints on the windows. Let's not even mention their appalling sanitary habits. My friend Amy was the one who was dog crazy. Dog shows, dog classes, dog trials, dog clubs. The list of her doggy activities was endless, and Stanley had it all planned that I would join her furry, four-legged household. His goal was to make things as difficult and embarrassing for me as possible, I'm sure. But in spite of the difficulties, the obstacles, the utter humiliation of being a dog, I performed my mission to the utmost. I swallowed my bitter pill with just the tiniest bit of complaint and covered myself with glory, not only finding Amy the perfect husband, but saving her life as well. I did everything Stan expected of me, everything and more. And if there were a couple of missteps and detours along the way, no one has the right to complain. I was trying to work in a stupid dog suit, for heaven's sake. You can't expect perfection. But enough about my adventures with Amy. I've already told that story in another volume, and if you want the details, you'll have to read it. Just take my word that I performed miracles with absolutely no heavenly help. And did I get my just reward? Did I get to spend the rest of eternity strumming a harp and admiring my wings? Hardly. Stan dished out more injustice. The twerpy bureaucrat gave me a choice. Promotion to a position involving even more work and more responsibility, or the dubious privilege of living out the dog's life. As a dog, of course. Now, I've never been big on work and responsibility, so the prospect of promotion didn't appeal. On the other hand, being a dog involved a host of disadvantages. No phone or refrigerator privileges, a monotonous diet, and the only powder room is the backyard, where everyone who cares to look and watch you take care of very personal business. Embarrassing. Being one of Amy's spoiled pooches wasn't as bad as it could have been, however. I got to sleep on the bed, and if I was very clever, I ended up with all the pillows. Lying around the house all day isn't bad duty, and by that point, the other household dogs, Molly and Drover, had learned to give me the respect I deserve. So, I chose the life of a dog. It would be a vacation of sorts, I told myself, and this little angel in a dog suit deserved a vacation. If only Stanley would leave me alone. And that was the greatest injustice. He didn't. Chapter 1. I think there's a natural law, Josephine D'Amato grumbled to Samantha Cole, whose sturdy frame barely fit into the passenger seat of Joey's classic Triumph TR6. Freeway traffic increases in direct proportion to a person's need.